But this falls under the realm of God permitting it to be this way. He does have power. He does have authority. The devil does. But only what is allowed him by God, only what is permitted by God, only what is tolerated by God. We have to see, in this sense, the devil like a pit bull on a chain. That chain staked out, everything where that chain allows him to go, you better watch out. But he can't go any further than the chain lets him. He might be vicious and mad and threatening and full of evil and violence and hate, and you can see the evil in his eyes, that pit bull of a devil. But he can't go any further than the chain lets him go. Job 1, he says you can touch Job's goods, you can touch his cattle, you can touch his crops, but you can't touch him. The pit bull can only go so far, only as far as the chain will let him go. And then when the devil says, just let me at Job, I'll kill him. I'll tear him apart. Devil says, God told the devil, you can touch his body, you can afflict him, but you can't kill him. So he could only go, the devil could only go as far as God permitted him. Now, does that in any way to you indicate that the devil's in charge? Even in the affliction of people, even in the violence, destruction of earth, like Job's stuff, his house, his cattle, his crops, he lost everything he had. It was inside the permissive will of God. God allowed it. The devil couldn't go any further than God allowed him to go. He can't go any further than God allows. No further than his chain will let him go. In fact, you read in the Gospels when Jesus said, Simon, Satan has desired to have you. He's asked permission to have you. Satan has asked permission to have you that he can sift you as wheat. Once again, you see, the devil's not all powerful here. Powerful? Yes. Deadly? Yes. Venomous? Yes. All powerful? Absolutely not. Satan has desired to have you that he might sift you as wheat. I believe that devil's still trying to sift you and me and everyone else, because he does know from long experience that if he sifts people, many of them will give up. Many of them will give up on God, throw in the towel, think God don't love them, God doesn't answer their prayer, God doesn't care about them. So the devil, powerful, yes. All powerful, no. Not sovereign, not in control. In fact, far from it. But here's a word of warning. The devil will take whatever you give him. He will take whatever you give him. That's why the Bible tells us, give no place to the devil. Give no place to him. Do not give him any opportunity in your life, because you give him an opportunity and he'll take it. You ever heard the expression, something is a deal that's just too good to be true? You have to watch those kind of deals when they come your way, because usually they are exactly that, too good to be true. I heard of a minister in Haiti who told this story, and I think you'll find it interesting. This Baptist minister in Haiti told the story of a very crafty and wily man who lived in Haiti. And he offered to sell his house to anybody who wanted to buy it with one stipulation. He says, I'll sell it to you at half price, half what it's worth. How'd you like to buy a house for 50% off? Sounds too good to be true? Here's the one stipulation. The one stipulation is I get to keep one nail in the house. I just want one nail. I want one nail, and this nail happened to be the peg that was right over the front door. You walk inside, there's a nail right over there. The guy says, I'm going to sell you everything, the whole house, it's all yours, 50% off. The only thing I keep is that one nail. You know, people think that's just too good to pass up. I'll jump on that deal. And so they bought the house, spent their money, fixed it up, improved it, added on, updated everything. And then the fella came that owned the one nail, and he had the rotted carcass of a pig, and he hung it on that nail. Said, that's my nail. And that carcass rotted and stank and full of maggots and nasty. It was so bad, so bad. And when it rotted away to nothing, he'd hang another one. That the people who bought it had to move out. And he got his house back for nothing. Because he owned one nail. And the minister's point in Haiti was this: you can't give any place to the devil. You can't give him any place at all. Not even one nail. Not even one nail. Or he'll take it all. Well, I would like for us to consider this as well. We said, here's the implications. If God is in charge, if God's in charge, if he's in absolute charge, if he reigns supreme, then we should not panic or worry or be fearful and afraid. It means also the devil is certainly not in charge. And it also means when we think of Romans 8:28, I want you to think of it in this light. We know that all things work together for good, for those who love God, to those who are the called according to his purpose, Romans 8:28. Even through the trials and afflictions and difficulties of life that you go through, and we all go through them, right? Even in these trials, difficulties, afflictions, and so on, we are being weaned from this world. Weaned from our affection for this world. Just like a baby is eventually weaned from its mother's breast, weaned from its mother's milk, I do believe that we have become too enamored with this world. We've grown too comfortable here. Maybe we should examine ourselves, each and every one, because I believe it's possible that if you live in America, it's hard to resist the temptation to just get too comfortable here and to love this world more than we should. In fact, we become so attached to it that we're too attached to it. We become so comfortable here. You get a decent job, you get a decent car, you live in a decent place, you have good food, your life is pretty easy and pretty soft. And we forget that this is not our home, that we're strangers and pilgrims here. We forget that this world is marked for destruction. And we start to think that we like it here so much we no longer long for heaven or no longer pray, Maranatha, come Lord Jesus. We no longer long for the coming of the Lord. Until trials and troubles and afflictions and persecutions, sickness, pain, adversity, tragedies, whatever it may be that comes along and reminds us, this isn't your home. Don't get so comfortable here. This is really a wicked place. Your home is far above this place. And there is a place far above where there's going to be no more sorrow, no more tears, no more tragedy, no more heartache. God's going to wipe all of that away. But you see, pain and sickness and suffering and trial and tragedy and difficulty, it weans us from the breast of this world and makes us realize this place, Lord, you've got to get us out of this place. It's too easy to get comfortable here otherwise. If it weren't for the afflictions, tragedies, and so on, we fall in love with this world. But adversity reminds us, this ain't your home. This is not your home. But we do have a home. It's just not here. And also these trials and troubles and afflictions, they wean us from this world and they fit us for heaven. You live very long and you'll go through enough trial and trouble, adversity and affliction. You'll see loved ones die, people that you just love and cherish pass on into glory, this world loses more and more